Hi, welcome back to another Catch Up With Me video, you guys. I'm super excited about this week's video. And I know I say that all the time, but so what? I can say it if I want to. But I'm excited because I have a few things that I cannot wait to show you. So let's jump right on in. Here is this week's planner layout. Simple, cute, to the point. And this is before the pen, as you can see. I said I'm going to try to make sure I remember to either tell you or show you what sticker book I use. This particular layout comes from the Squad Goals, and that's what this looks like. As you know, this is from the Happy Planner, and this is mostly the stickers that I use. And so that is that. And now also, I am quite aware that today is the last day in the month of May. Tomorrow is the first day of June. Super excited about that. But I will not be showing you my June monthly layout until next week, just because guess what? We're still in May, okay? And I can do that. So next on my list, I told you guys that I was going to show you my new phone. I showed you the case. Well, let me show you the case again. So here's the case yet again. It's the clear case, and I like it because I can see the color of the phone. And so, bam, this is my new phone, and that is me right there where I was working out in the gym. And this is the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Love, love, love it. I have 512 what is it, gigabytes, megabytes, whatever it is, of space, so I don't have to worry about running out of space. Especially since we're getting back into the time where I'll be getting back to doing my car conversations. I have plenty of room to record and upload my videos, so I'm super excited about that. So again, let me just show you the back. Here is the case that I showed you last week. This is the phone itself. Look at that. Look at those pecs. Good God. And this is the phone that I will be actually taking back to the AT&T store. They sent me the box where I can, mail this back if I wanted to, but I can also, hold on one second because I'm not sure. Stop the backup. I was trying to figure out how to back up the stuff, make sure everything on here is backed up to my cloud. And as you can see, I have the same picture on here. Again, look at those pecs, y'all. But this is the phone that this is my iPhone 7 Plus. I hate to get rid of it, but it's time that I do so. And I showed you all this case last week, which I like the case, don't get me wrong, but you can't see the rose gold of the phone. You can see it up here, but you can't see it because of this case. So I'm just going to get rid of this whole thing because this case does not fit my new phone. So that is that. And if you would like to have a free 30-minute consultation with me, please feel free. The link will be in the description box. Make sure you click on that link, get on my calendar, book your time with me, and we can use that 30 minutes to talk about whatever it is you need to talk about. You might just need somebody to listen to you talk because you feel like maybe you don't have anybody that just listens to you. I will give you that 30 minutes to do that. You might say, hey, Michelle, look, I'm thinking about doing ABC or XYZ. What do you think about that? Let's talk about it and let's see what we come up with. You might want to use that 30 minutes to, like I said, bounce ideas off of me, just, get my input on what I think about things, whatever it is. But you have 30 minutes of my time. Make sure you click on the link in the description box so that you can get on my calendar, you guys. And after this, see. Oh, I wanted to talk about some of the takeaways. So on last week, Circle of Champions, Mr. Bob Yates himself had another 5-day challenge, and this 5-day challenge was called Master the Stage, Command the Room. And when I tell y'all that it was phenomenal, honey, it was phenomenal, okay? And so we had Mr. Bob Yates himself, Miss Annetta Wilson, and we had Mr. Robert Raymond Leopold, who is from Canada. And when I tell you this man was amazing, honey, he is amazing times 1,000, okay? So here are just a few takeaways. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of detail because you had to be there. But we talked about how you can do a challenge, and I'm pretty sure you all have noticed that a lot of people are doing challenges right now. And the one that comes to mind is Tony Robbins, because I see his notices all the time I'm getting his emails, so I don't know if I signed up for something or not. But anyway, he's having challenges all the time, and they're different challenges. So I don't recall what his latest one is, but I know he is having one, or he just recently had one. But we talked about how you can do a challenge as little as 3 days, or you can do it for 5 days. Some people probably have 7 day challenges. Some people have 30-day challenges. It all depends on what you want to do. Me personally, I think my first challenge will be a 3 day challenge just because I know for a fact I can commit 3 days. Now I'm gonna tell you what happens when you get towards the end of the week. It gets a little sketchy because Friday here, that's date night for most people. They want to go out, especially since the weather's getting nicer. And so I'm thinking about doing my challenge on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And not just thinking, I'm actually putting pen to paper, creating that thing. So as I get it, hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully next week I can share a little bit more about that with you. But I do know it will be in the month of June. So I'm excited about that. We talked about creating acronyms, and of course I was put on the spot, and I thought, holy crap, I didn't do my homework because I don't have an acronym. So I came up with an acronym and my acronym is STORY. STORY. Because one of the things, and I do believe that my challenge is going to be centered around becoming a good storyteller. Okay, and so the acronym STORY, the S is for strong. You want your stories to be strong. The T, tell your truth. That's the whole purpose of telling your story, is to tell your truth. Now notice I said tell your truth. I didn't say tell my truth or somebody else's truth. Tell your truth. And then the O is observe. Observe your audience. So as you're telling your audience this story, observe how they're reacting to it. Because if you are telling that story just right, they're going to go through the same emotions and feelings that you're going through. If you talk about something that may be a little sad, you should see a little sadness within them. They shouldn't sit there. They should not be sitting there cackling and laughing and kikiing if what you just said is kind of bringing a tear to your eye. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to observe your audience. You want to look for whether or not the story that you're telling is a bit too much for them to take in. Because sometimes, we can tell stories and it might be a little too much for other people to take in. So you want to be careful about that. And then the R is for reactions. Again, you're looking for reactions from your audience. Do they look like they care? Do they look like, I really wish she would hurry up because I have someplace else to be. And then the Y is you matter. Your story matters. It doesn't matter if it only matters to one person in that room. Your story matters to someone. And then we talked about you must always be a student, because when you stop learning, that's it. It's over. It's a wrap. So you must always be a student. Never get to a place where you feel like, okay, I know it all. I don't need this because I already know everything. I don't know everything. I make it my business, let me say that, to learn something new every day. I don't care if it's just something small, something minute. I learn something new every single day that I didn't know the day before. And I do that purposely because I am always a student. Now, there will be a time where you will have to take that student hat off and put that trainer hat on or that speaker hat on. But for the most part, you need to always be a student. You can never learn too much. And then we talked about your content needs to answer two questions. It needs to answer the question of so what and who cares? Okay, your story, or your content, whatever content you're doing, be it for YouTube, for your workshop, your challenge, whatever it is that you're doing, your content needs to answer those two questions: so what and who cares? And again, you had to be there for Miss Annetta to break all of that down. And then we talked about, don't worry about who knows more than you in your audience. Because guess what? You're the one on stage. Sometimes people are afraid to get up on stage because they think, well, what if there are people in my audience and they know more than I do? Okay, that very well may happen. I've been in audiences where somebody was speaking and they were talking about a subject that I probably knew just a little bit more than they did. But so what? At the end of the day, They're the ones that's on the stage. People are watching you, not the people in your audience. So don't let that intimidate you to keep you from getting up on the stage, because guess what, there's always going to be someone else that knows more than what we know. So don't let that stop you. And then I said, stop focusing. We talked about stop focusing on what has already been done and do it anyway. No matter what you do, somebody somewhere has already done it. And that's all right. If you go and you Google information and you look up stuff for, let's say you're preparing for some content you're working on, somebody has already talked about that someplace. Don't let that distract you. You do it anyway. One of the things that I tell people all the time is, if you're looking for content, go to your favorite YouTubers. Look at the videos that they're putting out. Go to the comments. See what people are talking about. What are they asking? What are they talking about? What are they commenting on? And then guess what? There's your content right there. Or you can take a video that your favorite YouTuber has already done and just redo it. Put your own spin on it. Take that subject, because if you type in a subject, how to be a better person on YouTube, I'm pretty sure you're going to find thousands upon thousands of videos already done on that topic. Some of them probably are fairly new, some are older videos. So what? Do the video anyway. And then you talk about what you think makes a good person, or whatever the topic was I just gave. So we also talked about the ABCs of an authentic trainer. Always be closing. The worst thing you can do is get up on a stage, give your presentation, and then, all right, ladies and gentlemen, good night, and just walk on off. You didn't close. You didn't offer them anything. Because I guarantee you, more times than not, people are sitting in that audience and they're waiting for you to offer them something. So you always want to be closing. And again, you had to be at the workshop to get all of the ins and outs, the nooks and crannies, and all that other good stuff. We talked about, as a trainer, your job is to make your audience feel better. People will forget what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. If it wasn't for the fact that, where is my notebook? I put it across the room, but if it wasn't for the fact that I took notes during this 5-day challenge last week, most of the stuff we talked about I probably would forget. But I remember how when Bob or Annetta or Robert talked about certain things, how that made me feel as I visualized myself doing it. Or just something that they said, how that made me feel. So always remember, you can use the biggest words in the dictionary. The biggest word, most of those words people probably never even heard of. And that's all fine. People will forget that, but guess what? They're going to remember how you made them feel when you told that story, which is why I want people to learn, because there are so many people out here. Everybody has a story. Let me just say that. But a lot of people are afraid to share their story because they're afraid of how people are going to look at them and how people are going to, what they're going to think about them. Let me tell you something. You can't worry about that, because your story is going to help someone else. All right, let me keep it moving. So your scripture reference for this week is James 4:10. And the overall arching theme is embracing weakness. So humble yourselves before the Lord, and he will lift you up. And this is that was from the NIV version. The King James version says, humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. So, of course, different versions of the Bible have it written different ways, but it all means the same thing. So we should find great comfort in the fact that we are nothing without salvation in Christ Jesus. Thankfully, God made a way for us to be united with him, despite impatience, selfishness, anger, and pride. God deeply cares for us and patiently sustains us with steady, faithful, and adoring love. Weakness isn't something to be feared or hidden. Weakness submitted to God allows the power of Christ to work in and through us. When we know our weaknesses, we are more aware of our need for his strength. So let me put a pin right here really quickly and say this. If you're not sure what your weakness is, you need to sit and figure that out. I promise you, you already know. You may not want to acknowledge it, but you already know what that is. So your takeaway: prayerfully submit your weakness to God so that through him you can be strong. His transformative love is waiting to graciously restore you, and it's waiting to graciously restore me. Okay? Your word for the week is discernment. Discernment is the ability to obtain sharp perceptions or to judge well. Discernment also has been defined in the context scientific, normative, and formal. So here are 10 habits of discerning people. Number one, they live in right relationship to God. Number two, they focus on finding goodness in brokenness. And I'll link all of this in the description box. Number three, they know the difference between the way things are and the way things should be. Number four, they invest in things and relationships that will last. Number five, they know the importance of truth. Number six, they listen to experts. Number seven, they pay attention to words and actions. Number eight, they embrace goodness wherever they find it. Number nine, they pursue the best possible solution, knowing that no solution is perfect. And number 10, they use their wisdom to help others. Now, yesterday's sermon topic, well, I don't have one because there was something wrong with the streaming. And so, yeah, I just didn't watch the service at all. But I will go back and watch it. I just don't have anything that I can report to you all. And I do apologize for that. Movies I've watched last week. So I finally, you guys, watched Daniels the Butler. That came out in 2013. And it's a biography and a drama. It is on Netflix. As Cecil Gaines serves 8 presidents during his tenure as a butler at the White House, the civil rights movement, Vietnam, and other major events affect his life, family, and American society. This movie stars Forest Whitaker, David Banner, Mariah Carey, Vanessa Redgrave, Clarence Williams III, Oprah Winfrey, Terrence Howard, Cuba Gooding Jr., Lenny Kravitz, Robin Williams. I will say this. The movie was a good movie, and I am glad that I can finally say that I've watched it because everybody else I know actually has looked at it. But it was really, really hard to watch. It's hard to watch when you have to go back and see how people that look like me were treated just because of the color of their skin. Not that they had done anything wrong, but because of the color of their skin. And watching these white folks spit in their face. Lord have mercy, my palms was itching, you guys, because I'm trying to tell you, my hands was like this, okay? My hands were like this, let me just say that. But I said, Lord, I could not have existed at that time. Because I know they would have killed me. You gonna spit in my face? Are you serious? That's something I have never, ever, ever done. And I don't think I ever would do that because that is nasty. To spit on somebody, to spit in somebody's face says that you really think that they are so beneath you. And it just was really, really hard to watch because I've seen documentaries and I've read things and you hear about all of the stuff that black and brown people had to go through just because of the color of their skin. You had a group of folks that thought they were better than you because your skin was darker than theirs. All right, let me move on. But I did finally watch the movie. I also watched The Land Before Time, which came out in 1988. This is also on Netflix. And we see an orphaned brontosaurus teams up with other young dinosaurs in order to reunite with their families in the Great Valley. What happened was there was I think a volcano had erupted or something other, and then they ended up being displaced. They had to go to the Great Valley where they had all this plush greenery to eat, all this water to drink, and so these young dinosaurs, they go on this quest because they get separated from their parents, and they end up making it to the Great Valley. So, and this is a movie I've seen many times, but you know, it's just one that just never really gets old with me. I enjoyed it, and plus I had to watch that after watching The Butler, because you know I needed something to bring me back down, because I was feeling very agitated and irritated after that. Don't forget to check out my selfie store, and I will leave the link in the description box for that if you're interested in starting your own store. I have a link that's in the description box that will give you $15 discount. So make sure you click on that. Be sure to check out the Circle of Champions. We typically meet every Thursday from 7 to 9, but you have to go to the website to register and to see if we're actually having a class. Since we just came off of a challenge last week, we probably will not have a class on this Thursday. And so I will have the link for the Circle of Champions in the description box, where you can go in and learn all about Circle Champions and also to register for workshops. If you have a product or service that you would like for me to feature on my YouTube channel or my other social media platforms, please make sure you get me that information by the last week of the previous month. The cost is $49, and I'll be more than happy to talk about your product or the information that you want me to share. And make sure you go and check out COC University, you guys. It is so worth the money. Do you understand what I'm saying? And the link for that is in the description box, cocuniversity.com. Check it out. I think he has a 5-day or 7-day membership that you can get just to check it out. It won't give you access to everything, but it will give you access to enough stuff that you can check it out. And I promise you're going to say, you know what? I think I need this. And make sure you all, I know a lot of places are going back to 100% capacity and forgetting, in my opinion, that we are still very much so in the midst of this pandemic. I'm just asking that you please be careful if you go out and about. You know, still wear your mask. And a lot of places you do still have to wear your mask. When I go to the gym, they have a sign up that says you still have to wear your mask while you're working out. The staff is still wearing theirs. So just follow the rules, you guys. Follow the rules of wherever it is that you're going. If you walk in someplace and you don't feel comfortable, then by all means leave. Continue to practice safe social distancing, because this stuff is still real. And I know a lot of times people think, oh, I've been vaccinated, so I can go and hug everybody. You don't hug me. Don't do that. We can still continue to elbow bump, hip bump, thigh bump, whatever you want to call it, but don't hug me. Let's not do that. And again, just be careful when you go out. So I want to leave you with this. Be the reason, and I'm going to leave you with this every week. Be the reason that someone feels welcomed, seen, heard, valued, loved, and supported. Because too many people go through life feeling none of those things. And there's no reason why any of us should ever not feel these things. Thank you so much. If this is your first time joining me, thank you so much. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to tap that bell so you don't miss any videos that I have coming out. If this is not your first time, I want to say thank you, because I couldn't do what I do without you all. I love each and every one of you to the moon and back. You know the drill. You know my spiel. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing at all, because I'm going to love you no matter what. I'm going to love you when you're going up. I'm going to love you when you're coming down. I'm going to love you when you're going in, and I'm going to love you when you're coming out. I'm going to love you no matter what. But most importantly, I'm going to love you when nobody else even likes you, and that you can take to the bank. Until next time, take care.